Everyone, my name is Ryan and this is Ade, and welcome back to another edition of Boxtalk. It's time for This Week in Boxing, where we give you the news, reviews, the facts, the results from the past week. Interesting week, so let's get it going. Let's go with this weekend's fights. Yesterday daytime, Nonito Donaire fought Zolt Benic. I think the fight was in the Philippines, I'm not sure where it was.
Okay.
But got a third round KO. Do you get to see the fight yet?
Nope.
Good performance from Donaire. Typical in terms of he uses range, uses distance, landed good shots, dropped him twice in the second and once in the third, I think it was. Good shots as well. Then one was to the body, one was an uppercut and one was a hook. He's calling out the right people, saying he wants obviously to come back, he wants to fight Rigo, he wants to get his belts back, he wants to do this, wants to do that. As much as he looks good, it's different.
Yeah.
I don't know where it is.
No, it's going to be different. It's not the same Donaire.
Yeah, I think jumping up with the weights he went and then losing, a couple of times to Waters and to Rigo might make you doubt yourself. But knowing someone, it's not that you can't fight away from America or from the UK or whatever, but since his loss, he seems to be fighting.
Seems to be shipped around.
Yeah, shipped around and kind of low key.
See, I think the Rigo won't affect him as much. I think the Nicholas Waters knockout was a big one. But then again, you just disappear off the face of the earth in terms of your level of competition drops from Nicholas Waters to zoom, right below. And now you're fighting nobody and then you're asking to jump back to that level again. There's nothing wrong with going in between. And I think he needs to go to the in between. It's almost the Shannon Briggs thing for me, I say, when Shannon Briggs is calling out the top of the tree, but there's a few guys in the middle you could fight as you're busy, and I think Nonito Donaire needs to do that. I wouldn't mind seeing Nonito Donaire versus someone like Abdamares. I wouldn't mind that little matchup. No, I wouldn't mind that matchup. I think Abdamares has still got doubts about himself as well after a couple of big losses. To Johnny Gonzalez and to Leo Santa Cruz, so he's got those doubts in his head. It'd be a decent scrap, and it puts Nonito Donaire in America at least, so we get to see him at a reasonable time, and we know he's fighting.
Yeah, like I said, I think boxing is an international sport. You can fight anywhere, fight anywhere, anytime, and people will watch your fight. But if you don't know the fight's on,
There's still a top rank.
There's still a top rank. If you don't know the fight's on, it's a problem. Me and Ade watch every fight, but when you got people that I consider as hardcore fans, can't find when your fights are on, or can't find the schedule all the time. Like I went to Boxing Scene and said, oh, fight results, and I went, man, the fight's over. Then I found it on YouTube, and I found it on YouTube, it said the fight was uploaded 6 hours ago. I'm surprised that you can't get no schedule.
I'm surprised that with Pacquiao fighting a couple of weeks ago, that he wasn't on the undercard of that, to be honest.
Yeah,
I'm surprised, but
that's Bob, innit?
Oh yeah, when Bob thinks you're not worth any money, my God, he does treat you like crap. He really does.
And let's go with the co-main event to last night's big fight. It was Roman Gonzalez Chocolito versus McWilliams Arroyo. Pound for pound, a lot of people have Chocolito number one, and deservedly so. Very good fighter. And sometimes a scorecard is not a reflection of the actual fight. Yeah, I think that Chocolito won handily. I don't think he lost more than a round or two, if that. But one thing I did like about Arroyo, he stayed in the fight, and he tried and he tried, and he didn't call it quits, even though for some parts of the fight he was getting beat up. But he stayed in it, mixed it up, and even the last round he tried to push it and tried to go. I wasn't go for a knockout, but he tried to push and land very, very good shots. It's a performance, whereas you look at the loss and you look at the scorecard and think, he's not all that. But if you actually watch the fight, he's definitely got a future.
Yeah, it was a big ask for him, to be honest. I mean, what's he had? 16 fights?
16 fights, yeah.
Going against the mythical pound for pound number one. Chocolito's had what, 46 fights or something? 44 and 39k or something ridiculous. I mean, the gap there already, it says a lot, and I think sometimes in these kind of fights it comes down to experience. This is my first time, not first time, but I probably watched Chocolito this time, like studied him, no highlights, just I wanted to see what all this was about. And I can see what people are talking about. The hand speed is fantastic, foot movement's good, combinations, 4 or 5 punch combinations. I think the stats at the end of the fight showed that I think he threw like 1,300 punches, which is ridiculous, to be honest, but I guess that lower weight class is kind of, that's the standard. But he is a special talent. There's a problem with it though. look, for boxing fans, and it's fantastic, and I mean I like it, and it's great, and it's good, and no one still knows who this kid is.
Yeah.
No one still knows who Chocolate is, and people might look. Boxing fans might not have a problem with that, but believe you me, people start knowing who he is. His bank balance gets bigger. He doesn't have to be on the undercard because right now, yes, he's chief main event. But the last 3 GGG fights, he's been on the. He should be main eventing himself. He's the pound for pound. He's the king of the lower weight classes. They need to. He weighed in 122 pounds. Obviously, the fight's 112 pounds, which I don't know how people make 112 pounds, but there's talk of that he struggled at the weight. He said he didn't. He said he's still got a couple more fights at that weight class. If I was him, you've got to take a gamble. Almost like what Nonito Donaire did. You've got to take a gamble and go and take one of the bigger guys. Go up a few pounds and take one of the big guys to get a name.
So, tell you what, I wouldn't say there's a problem with boxing.
No, not boxing. I didn't know.
Yeah, I don't know there's a problem with boxing. But I think like we are kind of spoiled in terms of we're a little bit older. You know what I'm trying to say? So we remember the days when if you were a champion, if you were a top guy, you want to fight the top guys. There's now a culture in boxing whereas the other top guys don't want to fight the other top guys. Yeah, and I think that's the thing you got with Chocolito. Whereas it's not that his fan base ain't growing, but a lot of the lightweight guys are based over in Japan, and they're not big names for fans. And then they don't want to take the risk themselves because they're comfortable in their hometown. So you know, if I fight over here and you fight over here, we're not really crossing areas. So it doesn't help grow your base. You know what I mean? Whereas before, it didn't make a difference. I mean, we always talk about the old James Toney, Nigel Benn, Chris Eubank transatlantic video thing, where it showed that everyone was on the same radar. Nowadays, fighters seem to be on different radars. Now, I mean, if you're not in my little circle, I'm not going to really fight you, and your fan base can stay over here, and I could do my thing over here, and it kind of like it hurts the sport. And I think that's where Chocolito has a problem. Not that he ain't had good fights and he ain't fought a lot of people, but it's the fan base. Like I said, it's the promotion. It's getting big fights. It's doing everything together as one.
Let's have it right. He's fighting people that nobody knows.
Yeah,
he's fighting people that nobody knows. I mean, this is the pound for pound #1 yesterday, and I'll be honest with you guys. I don't know. I didn't know who Mick Williamson. I mean, me and Ryan even struggled to pronounce his name. Arreo. I never heard of him before. People might say, "Oh, how you never heard of him?" Never heard of him before. I've got to be honest with you guys. Never heard of him. This is the pound for pound #1. I'm not trying to say you should take a risk and go up, but you look just above him, and it's a lot of weight. I get it, but you look what Khan's doing with Canelo. It's a lot of weight. Don't remember, but it's still possible.
Yeah.
Look above him, 10 more pounds. And then the fight starts to get interesting. And those guys might think, oh, he's a small guy, I'll take him. So you never know what could happen.
Only thing I will say the difference here is that at that weight class, 10 pounds is a lot of weight.
Yeah, that's a huge
when you look at someone that weighs 112, 10 pounds is 8% of your body weight. I mean, that's a lot of body weight to put on. I mean, at the higher weight classes for Amir Khan to go up 8 pounds is not as bad when you weigh 147.
But I was watching, he put on his Twitter page, he put pictures of his weight cut.
Yeah.
He's a big guy, by the way.
No.
He was like always showing up 127, 122. Yeah. So he starts from quite high up. No. A lot of boxers do, but he's not walking around at 112. He's walking around at 130, and he's cutting down to 112. No, I think he should just cut down a bit less.
No, I think you're right. I think he can go up in weight, but I think it has to be calculated.
I agree.
I think 10 pounds will be too much.
How old is Chocolito? No idea.
Not sure.
No idea.
10 pounds is too much. I'll say go up 116. Know what I mean? 116, 120, 118. 118. Go up 118, see how it goes. And then you see how it goes, and just make it bit by bit and just take it as it comes. I mean, another thing I like about Chocolito, which I think was similar to what we talked about with GGG, and simple we're going to get to in a minute, and something like Lomachenko, he doesn't rush. You know what I mean? And I think that patience, I mean, similar to Mayweather as well, doesn't rush. And I think even though he's more of a pressure fighter than a boxer, that means more like he likes to stay on the front foot, there's no rush in it. You know what I mean? He just picks his spots. And I think when you're talking about the highest level of boxing, that's the key word. You pick your spots.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah. Alright, let's move forward and let's go to the main event. GGG versus Dominic Wade.
I'll call this round right.
Yeah, you did call the round right.
I called a few rounds right recently.
Yeah, you called the round right for this one. Since you called it right, you got started off.
Now, me and Ryan done a video for GGG Wade. We done a video for it, and a lot of people like the video. It got a hell of a lot of likes, and there's a few people that we went back and forth with that got a few dislikes. and I get it. And what me and Ryan was saying was, basically, what's the point of this fight? Basically, what's the point of this fight? Do something. I even said, you know, get rid of the belt. If this is what they're going to give you in terms of, this is what's going to be put in front of you, get rid of the belt, because it means nothing to you. You get nothing out of doing what you just did yesterday. I love GGG, I love watching him. I think the performance was fantastic as usual, but when all was said and done, what did you get out of that fight? I don't even remember, when me and Ryan always list the GGG victims over the last 3 years, we always forget William Monroe.
Yeah.
Have you realised that? We never mentioned him.
Yeah.
And believe you me, when we do it again, we're going to forget Dominic Wade.
Yeah.
It's a nothing, meaningless fight. Right now, as you said yesterday, the lineal champion, sorry, as you said earlier today, the lineal champion is Canelo. I hate to admit it.
Yeah.
So all these fancy belts GGG is collected and mean nothing really. The one you need to go for is Canelo. If this is what IBF are going to give you, bloody vacate the belt, because that was a waste of time, waste of camp.
Guys, I wish you could have like a hidden camera so you can actually hear me, Ade, and our friends discuss boxing. And you, especially GGG fans, I wish you could be here and hear this, because the amount of times me and you defend GGG, and I'm a huge GGG fan.
Massive.
You guys allow it, you don't understand, and they're telling me GGG's not all that, he doesn't fight no one, blah blah, and I credit GGG every single time. Even on Friday and Saturday, I was on the phone call to one of my mates for nearly 2 hours, and he was telling me that Dominic got a chance because GG ain't fought no one, he ain't fought no one, he ain't fought no one. And I'm like, no, he doesn't have a chance. And you know, it'd be a good fight, but he won't go by past 4 or 5 rounds. And you're saying this all the time, just because. But then that's me as a fan. Me as a trying to be boxing pundit, I've got to be fair to what I see. So as much as I like the guy, I think he's a great fighter, I think he could beat all these other guys and be the top. You've got to look at the actual facts. Who is he fighting right now, and what does that count for him and the division? And as you said, last night's fight against Dominic Wade, this is the point we said in the videos, that you've got to you've got to roll the dice. You've got to put the extra money out. You've got to force these guys to fight. You can't take step aside money. And you guys said, he's a mandatory, he has to fight, he's a mandatory.
Don't care.
We get Brook from having mandatories.
Yeah, we destroy Brook mandatories. Destroy him. Why is Brook fighting beat? It's a mandatory, I don't care.
Yeah, that's what I mean, GGG is so bloody good.
Yeah.
He makes top 10 guys look rubbish.
Yeah.
Yeah? So when you've got mandatories that are not universally ranked top 10, he's going to destroy them with ease.
Yeah,
he destroys world champions with ease.
Yeah.
He destroys former world champions with ease. Yeah? This guy is not gonna give you nothing much. And it's not just, I'm not blaming GGG.
No,
but you just gotta look at it and say, Dominic Wade is a good fight. I said he's a good fight in his own right, but this is not a fight for him.
Yeah, it's harder than Dominic Wade because, like you say, universally ranked, he's probably floating around 25, 30. You know what I mean? But IBF rankings, obviously, is mandatory because he beat Sam Solomon, which he didn't. So he's got in this position. But look, people chuck away belts every day. I'm not trying to say that's what GG should do, because I get it. He's worked his way. He's tried to honestly.
He wants to unify.
He wants to unify.
The Hopkins.
But guys, people throw belts. Belts in boxing, especially at this age GGG is at, mean very little. He wants the big fights, and whether it means, look, there's talk about, Canelo says, look, I think Canelo, and there's talk about 156.
Yeah.
Do the 156 fight. I don't want him to. No. I don't want him to. But Ryan, that's part of rolling the dice. If you say you can go to 154 for Floyd, if he didn't say he can go 154 for Floyd, I wouldn't even be mentioning this. 156 is 4 pounds below what he weighs in, and I don't think Canelo's one of the biggest 160 guys anyway.
Yeah, here's the thing about it.
Roll the dice or go up to 168.
I disagree with you on 2 points, I think he should keep the belt. I don't think he should give a belt up, He wants to unify and have all the belts and be in the record books with the likes of Marvelous Marvin Hagler.
How many belts he got now?
2.
What's he got? IBO.
So Billy Joe's got 1 and Canelo.
IBO, WBA, and IBF.
Yeah.
How many mandatories that is? Yeah, that's the problem.
No, but I'm trying to say, I understand what you're saying, but he wants to be in the record books with Hagler and Hopkins having all the belts. I understand that, and I think that's where boxing should be. You want to clean up your whole division. Yeah. So I wouldn't say give up the belt. But like I said, it's K2 Promotions. They got a lot of money. They can push a little step aside money. Here's the IBF. You can't do step asides. Trust me, they could do step asides. They always make sanctioning bodies always make concessions when it comes to money.
Yeah, guys, they're the most fraudulent people.
Come on,
come on, the most fraudulent organisations ever.
And you guys have got to comment and say it's the IBF. They won't do it. They won't do it. They won't do that. Go and read and look around and find history. I mean, I'm talking about historically. All it counts is money.
All it counts is money.
It's money. That's what it comes down to. So I don't want to relinquish the belt, but put yourself in a better position to have the right fights. Secondly, I don't want you to fight at 156. I understand your point when you're saying just get the fight because chances are you win and then you unify and you can fight at 160. To me, you can't have a unification for the middleweight title, one of the biggest fights in boxing, full stop, in any weight class, and have some crappy 155, 156 catch weight when you've got a legitimate middleweight and a guy that won't make 154 for anyone.
I agree, but let's be honest, for Martinez to make Cotto fight, Martinez, I didn't like it, but it got us to fight. Obviously, at the time we didn't know Martinez had the issue with the legs. But at the time, I didn't hear many people stress too much about Martinez having to come down a couple of pounds to make that Cotto fight, and it made it, and it happened.
No, see, the reason why that seemed to be a one-off. It's Cotto, it's a big fight. He's a champ at 154, he's gone at 160, a catch weight. All right, then we can understand that a little bit. But that has had a knock-on effect now for the past 24 months, where now you're getting catch weight. Yeah, so it kills out the division, it kills out the belts. So
what do you think is killing the division more? Well, okay, is the catch weight right now? If GGG doesn't fight Canelo, the division is killed.
No.
If GGG fights Canelo, look what's going on for example. Look what's happening right now. Amir Khan is fighting Canelo for the middleweight.
Yeah.
Amir Khan is fighting Canelo for the middleweight title. Canelo fights GGG at 157.
Yeah. All right.
3 pounds. I don't like it, but someone's got to move here.
Yeah. No.
And Canelo and his power don't need to move.
Catch weights are in sports, and I understand catch weights when you've got a guy from a lower weight class going up to a guy in a bigger weight class, so you meet in the middle. Canelo has not weighed 154 in over 2 years.
Yeah, 155.
So he's not a guy that's saying he's fighting a middleweight effectively, no matter how you cut it. It's a middleweight, so there's no need for the catch weight. Here's what.
But he's never weighed at 160.
Yeah, I know he's never weighed at 160.
So he's not.
The belt.
So he's.
I'll tell you what. Okay, here's what I would rather see. If Canelo doesn't want to man up and fight GGG, if he beats Khan, he'll have to relinquish the belt. Yeah.
Why?
But don't say they're gonna strip him. Yeah, I know. That's where it is right. As it stands right now, that's what they're saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Canelo will pick up. GG will pick up the belt and be the full WC champion. He could fight Billy Joe Saunders, and then that will legitimize everything. Let's get back to the facts. GG, very good performance. Done what he's supposed to do.
Yes.
Dominated, shut the guy down, and ended the fight with 3 knockdowns. Nothing more to really say. I mean, GG is the best middle in the world, hands down.
Yeah, with a gap. Yeah. Maybe that's his problem with a gap. I mean, there is talk about him. There was something online I read on Boxing Scene about Ramirez, who beat Abraham.
Yeah,
after Abraham.
going up to the middle.
Yeah, it's a massive size difference. Ramirez looked massive for Abraham. I think super middles, there's a few monsters up there, but I think GGG will smoke a lot of those very quickly, but I don't know.
I think GG will only go up to super middleweight if he could keep his middleweight belt, because now I think he's at 15 or 16 defences.
Yeah, and he wants the haggler.
Yeah, the Hopkins.
The Hopkins, sorry, yeah. What's Hopkins, 20 or?
21, I think it was. Yeah, 20 or 21. But yeah, that's what he wants though. So he wants, I think he would rather, if I can't get the belts, I'll get the defences. But see, here's the thing about it. The problem with the defences is that you have to unify all the belts within that time to make it be at the same standard. That makes sense?
Yeah.
Hopkins had the IBF belt for like 14 defences, and then he unified the rest after. So when he was actually at the top, he had all the belts. So he done his job. If he got stripped after, the job was complete because he done everything. GG's reign won't be held in the same esteem if he doesn't unify all the belts within that time. Right. Let's move on and let's go with the news. And quick bit, as we're talking about cold-blooded punchers, Kovalev is signed to fight Chilemba.
Yeah.
I think it's for July.
July, yeah.
Yeah, for July. For July. But
in Russia.
Off the back of that, though, they're saying that Andre Ward versus Kovalev is reportedly signed.
Yeah, for the fall.
Yeah,
that's
so autumn, like November.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I must say Chilemba's a good fight, and it's in Russia, so I think it's a good fight, a good homecoming fight. I don't want to overlook that fight, but if that fight
overlooked.
If that fight is really signed, Kovalev Ward, based on their last 2 performances, Andre Ward needs to do something big in summer. He needs a top 5 ranked fighter to say, guess what?
Top 5?
He needs for me, he needs a top 5 ranked fighter.
Take that risk with Ward and his injuries. I don't think if I was Rock Nation and that fight scored for quite a few pay-per-view buys, Ward and his injuries, I'll be nervous putting him on the top 5. I mean, a couple people online have said Bramer or Bertabiev.
Yeah. Well,
Bramer, I'd say more than Bertabiev.
Yeah. Bramer can't travel apparently.
Oh, can't he?
Can't travel. Yeah, for
oh, yeah, he's got some sort of
conviction
back in the day.
Robbery or something.
He looks like one of those Russian mafias, doesn't he? Actually,
I didn't say that. Yeah.
What is Jürgen Bremer? German?
Huh?
Is he German? Jürgen.
Okay. I'm not sure. But this was about
robbery.
But here's what I'm saying though, yeah. For Andre Ward, who just come up in weight, for Barrera in his last fight, and it was not a bad performance, but it wasn't the best Andre Ward. Yeah. But again, Barrera is not a guy that's a marquee top 10 fight, university top 10 fight, maybe borderline. To actually go for the Kovalev fight, the undisputed, in my opinion, best light heavyweight in the world, he needs to fight someone of note. Yeah. So of note for me throws in from Farah, Adonis. No, not saying it's going to happen, but this is what I'm saying. The fighters are available. Adonis, from Farah, possibly Cleverly, Bramer,
and Bertabiev.
I don't think Bertabiev, the fight's not ready yet. No, Bertabiev's still fresh. They won't put him in there.
Wait, look what he done to Cloud.
Yeah, I know, but he's still fresh. Bertabiev, how many had fights at 12, 13? They're not going to. It wouldn't be a good idea for his campaign with Andre Ward at this time. But you look at that type of fight I want to see. I don't want to see anyone else.
I think when you've got Kovalev sign a pay-per-view, possibly pay-per-view bonanza in October, November. There's a couple of names that are very risky. Cleverly's not risky. Cleverly will be a good test, but he'll get through that.
Cleverly will be a good test in the gas tank.
Yeah. Cleverly's kind of a good fight.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if Ward will knock out Cleverly.
Cleverly's not the biggest puncher.
Yeah. But he's got a good movement and gas tank.
And he'll make Ward work and say, guess what? I could go hard 12 rounds.
But then I don't want Cleverly to turn into a challenger like that.
There was a rumour that Cleverly's fighting Bramer.
Was there? That's a better fight. That's a winnable fight for Cleverly, you know?
No way.
Yes, it is a winnable fight. You're too high on Bramer who fights no one.
Bramer is a very good fighter, bro. I'm telling you.
Bramer fights nobody.
I'm telling you.
What's his last big fight? I can't remember. What's his last big name?
I'm telling you, don't sleep on Bramer.
I'm not sleeping on Bramer, but people done this for Bute. I'll be honest with you. Bute was this amazing fighter that didn't fight anybody because he was out of the Super 6. Came out of the Super 6, started fighting people, got beat up.
Remember this, yeah? When the Super 6 started, Bute was number one.
No,
he was number one in the world. The Super 6 gave other contenders, but Bute, I can pull the records out right now.
No, what I'm trying to say what I'm trying to say is that means nothing because he fought nobody. You're given a number one ranking because he had the best knockout record.
No, he fought good fighters. He fought good fighters. I didn't say great fighters. He fought good fighters. I can't remember all the fighters.
Name one.
You're talking
one.
10 years ago.
Okay, just one.
LeBron Andrade.
He's
a good fighter. He's a good fighter. At that time, he was a very good fighter. He was a legit top 10 fighter. Who else did he fight? Who else did he fight at that time as well? He fought. Can't remember the guy he fought.
Basically, I'm trying to say Bramer is very similar. All the best light heavyweights are in America, and Bramer's fighting 3 fights ago Enzo McAnelli.
Come on. But yeah, so
who wins?
Interesting
Ward
stuff.
Kovalev right now.
Based on their last performances, I have to go with Kovalev. I'm trying to say.
Who was Kovalev's last performance again?
Pascal.
Oh yeah.
When he suffered him, he just dragged him through the ring and suffered him.
Yeah.
Remember that?
I wonder if Pascal's paid up yet.
Well, no. Pascal said he's coming back this year. He's coming back shortly. Yes, yeah. Like I said, I think the best
Pascal Ward.
Not a bad fight.
That's not a bad one. You're trying to see where you are. Pascal's probably the. But then again, Pascal turned into
coming off 2 losses.
Coming off 2 losses against Kovalev.
Yeah. 3 losses. Remember, he had that fight in between, and
he lost.
Yeah, he lost.
That's a better fight than I think.
Yeah. The thing about it, I think Andre Ward is a tremendous fighter. I don't want to take nothing away from him. But like I always say, basically 3.5, 4 years off. Yeah. Coming back into a big fight. His last fight, he got touched a bit. I'm like, that don't look like the prime Andre Ward no more. He needs to show me something in his next fight so I can actually make a fair assessment. But based as it stands today, on their last performances, Kovalev is sky high right now. Yeah, Andre Ward is kind of like...
You know what it is? I just can't see Andre Ward losing.
No, that's what I'm trying to say. Yeah,
I can't ever see Andre Ward taking a beating and losing. I just can't see it. But I can't see Kovalev losing. It's such a great fight.
What I'm trying to say is, yeah, and just look at it from this perspective, yeah? If Kovalev landed the shots, Barrera landed on Andre Ward, there'd been a problem. Anthony Joshua, Okay, so now it's been agreed that he's going to be fighting on the 25th of June.
25th or 26th?
25th.
25th, okay.
25th of June. No more the clash with Tyson Fury, which is good. And then they've announced the top 3 opponents for.
Oh, have they? They've done that?
The fights have won.
Official?
No, yeah. So the 3 in the running are Bermane Stiverne.
Yeah.
Eric Molina, who fought Deontay Wilder. And Dominic Breazeale.
Okay.
Yeah, is it Dominic?
Yeah, it's Dominic Breazeale, yeah.
Yeah.
It is Breazeale,
yeah. Is it Dominic?
Yeah.
Alright then.
Is it? You're making me question it.
Yeah, no, yeah.
It doesn't matter, it's Breazeale. Anyway.
Yeah, Breazeale. Yeah?
Yeah.
Anyway, 2 days later, Eddie Hearn said the front runners, obviously, is Breazeale and Molina.
The front runners are Breazeale.
The front runners are Breazeale and Molina.
Yeah.
I'm going right now for what's going to be Breazeale. Yeah? But it has to be fair, it has to be honest. I'm extremely disappointed. Extremely disappointed. Stiverne, I think it's a top 10 ranked heavyweight.
Yeah.
Yeah? And I think style-wise, he'll give something to Joshua what he hasn't seen before. How can you... there's no double standards on the show. You put Molina in there. I absolutely destroyed Deontay Wilder for fighting Molina. And I can't believe they're going to consider having Molina in that list. Even though he had a decent win, why would you fight Molina? What does that give you as a fight?
Is it Molina that beat Helenius? Adam, which one did Molina beat? Can't remember which one.
I can't remember which one it was.
He beat one of those two.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then on the flip side, Breazeale, he was... Come on now, Breazeale?
Yeah.
This is a joke, isn't it?
For us, it's a joke. And there's 2 things here. If he does Breazeale, again, because Joshua's got a lot of casual fans, loads of casual fans, it's gonna come out as this 6 foot whatever, blah blah blah, unbeaten Olympian, all that crap. It's gonna sound fantastic. Whereas to the real fans, Breazeale's crap. Is that right? He's not a great boxer at all. He's not good at all. In fact, wasn't he a basketball player?
I think so.
That's turned into a boxer.
I'm not sure.
Something.
Do you see his last fight with
Takam?
No, with Amir Mansour.
Yeah, Amir Mansour. Yeah.
And Mansour was beating him up.
Of course he was.
Yeah, beating up quite handily. Breazeale looked terrible until Mansour broke his jaw or something like that, or lacerated his tongue.
Something lacerated his tongue.
Yeah, something like that.
Now the problem I have with all of this, the big problem I have with all of this is the 3-letter word pay-per-view.
Yeah.
That's the big. It's not been announced yet.
Yeah.
But those are not pay-per-view opponents.
It's already pay-per-views, you know that?
How do you know?
Eddie Hearn said Joshua will return on pay-per-view. This fight's pay-per-view.
Then it's a big problem. Then it's a real big problem. And I said that we're going to run into this problem because I personally think the trajectory, the run he's on is fantastic.
Yeah.
I mean, if someone was to tell me 17th fight you're fighting. Back in the day, if someone said a 17 fights fighting Molina, it doesn't sound that bad.
Yeah.
But now,
you've got the IBF.
Now you've got the IBF belt and you've been running through opponents like that, Molina is bad.
Yeah.
And this is the thing that Adam Smith mentioned when we spoke to him.
Yeah.
And I clearly asked him the question, if he wins the belt, will he fight the marquee guys? He clearly said, guys, go watch the interview. He said no.
Yeah.
So I can't be surprised, but don't put Stiverne in the running and then put Stiverne at the bottom.
I don't think Stiverne was ever in the running.
That just sounds good.
It just sounds good. See, here's the thing I have now. At heavyweight, let's be honest, there's not many B sides for pay-per-view. Let's be fair, yeah? The people that can sell pay-per-view with Anthony Joshua as a legit pay-per-view would be David Haye, obviously, Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder, and that is really it. So to be fair, you're not going to get much pay-per-view out of a heavyweight fight for Anthony Joshua. Yeah, you got to stack the card, but you can't put Molina or Breazeale as a headline on a pay-per-view card. I would much rather see Ariola or Stiverne or Brian Jennings or whatever. I'm not saying it's pay-per-view worthy, but I would accept that because that's the top 10.
Yeah, but the way they would look at it, Eddie Hearn, Adam Smith and the other sort of head honchos is that they'll probably look through the last 6 or so Joshua pay-per-views, I think there's been that many, and they'll probably look at the numbers Gary Cornish did, they'll look at the numbers Kevin Johnson did, And they'll think, well, we don't really have to put a killer in him. Because Anthony Joshua's at that stage right now, and I think he is, where he's probably doing over 500,000 now.
Yeah.
And they're going to think, we don't need to put a killer with him when he's doing over 500,000. That's the problem.
They said it done more numbers than the Dillian White fight.
That's what they said. Wow, and that done what, 400 they said? Around that, I think they said. So 500,000 pay-per-view buys, then you know the next fight is going to do 500,000 as well. So as fans, as boxing fans, I get why we want King Kong in there with him, but they're probably thinking, I think they think the big one will be in December. And I believe there will be a big one in December.
No, I believe there will be a big fight. You can't be, listen, when you look at the current crop of heavyweights right now, you can't be a title holder and avoid good fights. Yeah, especially for Anthony Joshua, because he's not as developed as others. There are good fights out there for him, which are competitive fights that you think, oh, we could get something out of this. So I don't mind those fights coming up as of now and down the line. But you can't, like I said, you can't put those three names together, pull out one who was clearly never really in the mix, and have those two there and say, well, they're top 15 ranked by the IBF, so that makes them viable. There's other fighters in the top 15 that are more viable. That's all I'm saying.
Anthony Joshua, and we'll end on it, really, is an asset of massive asset proportions right now. I look at the boxing world, not just UK anymore, and I think there's probably only, I don't think Cotto even does 500,000 pay-per-view buys anymore. Alvarez will do it with Khan. I think that'll do big buys in America. There's not many that don't require a big B-side. In fact, I'll say it on the limb here. I don't think there's anyone that doesn't require a big B-side like Joshua that sells that money.
No, you're right. No,
so Joshua right now is an entity that you don't play about with, you don't risk with right now.
Okay, just your own personal opinion. If you had to rank Brazili or Molina, in terms of universally ranking in the top 10 or in the top of the division, where would you put them roughly?
I'll say Brazili unbeaten, probably floats around, in my head, around 20. And Molina probably one win because of that good. I can't remember. If it was Hellenius, then that probably deserves a top 20. So we're talking about 18, 19. If it was Adamek, 22, 23. So both of them floating around 20.
I'm not being bad. Edge is one of our own, and I like him, but I'm not having it.
Yeah, it's a bad
Same thing I said about Deontay Wilder and Dion. That's why he got the name. You know what I mean?
We said it. Once you get that belt, that belt means you're the champion of the world. You need to start fighting champions. But especially when your last fight, it wasn't a war.
No, it wasn't.
It's not like you went 12 rounds and it was the toughest fight in the world.
Didn't break a sweat.
You're fresh to go against a marquee name.
It didn't break a sweat.
Yeah.
Okay. Amir Khan said this week that Kell Brook was a bigger payday than Canelo, but I'm doing this for legacy.
I heard that actually.
Yeah. Now there's two ways you could look at it. If you're pro Kell Brook, you could say that's Amir Khan's shot saying he's ducking.
Yeah.
Why take a fight for less money?
Yeah.
If you're pro Amir Khan, or I would say more neutral, you could say Canelo's a bigger fight, and that's not a diss to Kell Brook. It is a bigger fight. But that got me thinking. I don't think Khan Brook's ever going to happen. I don't think Khan Brook's ever happen, because now what that also done to me is telling me psychologically that Khan is in a financial situation where the actual purse is not the sole interest.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah? He's looking at things from a different perspective, because guess what? He's already extremely rich, he's already successful, he's already a world champion. I'm looking for something different. And he's been chasing the Mayweather fight, he was chasing the Pacquiao fight, he got the Canelo fight. He's been looking for international big events. I'm not saying the Cobra fight's not a big event, but that fight is only big in the UK.
100%.
Yeah, I don't think that fight's ever going to happen now.
Yeah, that fight doesn't send ripple waves over across America.
Yeah.
I mean, it might do to other boxing fans, but in terms of their casual version, it doesn't do anything over there. Amir Khan said, even whilst getting the Mayweather fight, like, I'm not taking the Mayweather fight for money. They're offering me rubbish money for the Mayweather fight. I just want that fight because of legacy. And you can't argue that when he's gone to Canelo and try and chase the middleweight title. Brook is a massive fight over here. Khan's international. Khan isn't a British fighter. And Eddie Hearn and Matchroom need to start realising this. Khan is an international fighter now, where he's known in America and Brook isn't.
Here's regardless what we think of who's going to win the fight or not, and didn't be trying to get you to go onto my side. If Amir Khan won, or if Amir Khan went to points and put in a very good performance but didn't get stopped or nothing, how much of a name would he be after this fight, even in the loss? he'd be in a very, very good position. The only way Amir Khan gets hurt in this fight if he gets knocked out badly quick. Anyhow, Amir Khan comes out of this fight, even with a loss, but put on a very, very good performance, and it goes close down to the line. He comes out a bigger star due to the coverage of this fight.
Yeah,
I can't. That's it. It's now got to a point now where it sounds bad to Kell Brook, but Kell Brook is actually not even in the same league no more.
Amir Khan's quite lucky here. And what I mean by this is that a lot has been made about this fight with Alvarez, and someone just said it to me the other day, guys, Alvarez fights at 155, there's not much difference. I was like, it's only 8 pounds.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, that's still a hell of a lot. Because I think so much is made about the weigh-in on the night, which has never really used to happen. It seems to be a thing now where how much do they weigh in on the night? The fact is, Khan's a 147 fighter. Alvarez really is a 155 fighter, not a 154 one. There isn't a huge amount of difference here. But Khan, you're right, I agree. I think Khan gets... If this fight goes to points, and it's 116, 112, or even anything, Khan takes a lot of plaudits right there, and is a superstar again, like he's already.
That's what I'm trying to say. It's, again, same things though, is the weight is not too much of an issue for me, it's the trinket. Which is saying that you're the middleweight champion of the world. That's the thing that makes the fight, like I said, for Amir Khan much more lucrative. So he's saying, guess what? I'm only weighing 155. That's cool. It's the belt. And that, guess what? In the record books, no matter how you cut, if you like him or don't, if he wins in the record books, it's going to say he was the middleweight champion of the world.
If Khan does win, and it's an if. This is boxing. 2 people win. 2 people go in. One wins. We have a massive problem in the middleweight division if he does win.
Seriously,
because let's be straight about it. I mean, if we thought Canelo was ducking GGG, I mean, Khan will run the proverbial mile away from Golovkin, and we've got a big problem if he wins. Big problem.
I'll tell you what, even though I don't think I think he's saying it is in terms of hype, but Khan did say he would fight Golovkin. You know that hype. But hear the joke.
You know when you kind of break down how Khan could beat Canelo. That breakdown of GGG stops right there. And before it even comes out your mouth, it stops.
You know, so what's really upsetting about the middleweight division right now is that Brother Hopkins 15 years ago done a lot of work to unify those belts, over a long period of time. Remember, he had the IBF for most of the time, then unified with the big tournament with Don King. Obviously, we unified all the belts with Oscar, the final one. After that, we've had not all the millennial people got strict or whatever, but we've had consistency. Jermaine Taylor, Kelly Pavlik, Sergio Martinez. So you got 3 at that time. No matter how you cut it, Hopkins was recognised as the king of middleweights. Pavlik was recognised as king of middleweights. You get my point. Since Cotto took that belt, the middleweight title has lost luster.
I think GGG's bringing it back.
No. He's definitely brought it back. But we all know that GGG is the champion of the division. But he doesn't have the lineage of it.
Doesn't mean anything.
So now,
do you think that means anything?
I think it does. Because, like I said, you got the man who is the head, who's really truly head of the division, who is not. You've got Cotto, wouldn't fight at 160. Canelo wouldn't fight at 160, and if Amir Khan won, is not going to fight at 160. It's literally spoiled 3 years of the division.
Amir Khan won't win.
I'm just saying. Okay, sticking with Kell Brook, there's been a lot of talk this week about Kell Brook and Errol Spence, who's going to become his mandatory after one more fight. Kell Brook said in this interview statement that I'm not sure how good Errol Spence really is. He could be like another Jeff Lacey. A lot of hype, but what does he really have?
Where did he say that?
Bold statements.
Where did he say that?
I think it was to Sky Sports.
Okay, cool.
Very bold statement. I definitely think different styles make fights, and you can't take away what Jeff Lacey was, because at the time it was a legitimate threat to Kazagi, but Jeff Lacey was always a brawler. I mean, a puncher and bully. Errol Spence saying that Errol Spence is a boxer. Do you think people are looking to Errol Spence a little too much at this stage in his career?
Yeah, far too much, if I'm honest with you. I mean, don't get me wrong, I look at him and I can see a tremendous talent. There's no two ways about it, he is a tremendous talent. But so is Kell Brook. Kell Brook's a fantastic talent as well. We're disappointed with Kell Brook's opponents, but when Kell Brook gets these rubbish opponents, you see what he does to them, which clearly says he's a level way above anything. A lot of people have Kell Brook as the number one welterweight in the world right now. And that's without fighting marquee opponent after marquee opponent, so people see what he has. Again, I don't want to compare these guys because I think Errol Spence is better than them. But let's all remember what we did about Broner. Let's all remember what we did about Berto. There's a list of them. They're littered with guys that
what you did.
No, but Max Kellerman clearly said in his mouth this Broner could cause Mayweather problems. That's Max Kellerman that sees hundreds and hundreds of fights. So a lot of people are high on Broner. So let's just remember, like, these guys looked amazing as well. But when they got to that elite level against someone difficult, which
came up.
It came up, and don't tell me Algeria is that elite level, guys. Let's see him against. You know, I'm so upset there isn't no. I'm so upset Maidana's retired.
Yeah.
Because to me that's the acid test. Someone like Maidana. Let's see what you do against someone like that. That, you know, with the tricks go out the window. Like you saw what he did with Mayweather and Berto. I mean, so Mayweather and Broner.
Errol Spence said something this week along the lines of Furman's been a pro for 8 years. He's only got one marquee name on his record. Talk about Robert Guerrero, and it's a good point. And it's not a diss to Furman. It's saying that, guess what? Errol Spence has only turned pro 3-4 years ago. Yeah. And he has made very, very good progress in that period of time. That's the sign of a good fighter. Now, I'm not saying I'm not on the bandwagon yet saying that he's great, but if you look at other great fighters, they had that progression which is kind of quick to say, guess what? They definitely have something in the tank. We all heard about the rumor with him sparring with Mayweather and blacking Mayweather's eye up. No one really hits Mayweather. Potential and substance is one thing. You've got to take to another level, but definitely he's got something.
America know how to push someone in your face.
Oh yeah.
America's the king of pushing fighters in their face. I mean, we've watched hundreds of fighters that were supposed to be the next big thing, and America will push them. We done the Berto Ortiz video. Ortiz was that guy. Both of those guys are poster childs for America pushing them as the next big thing. So I think Errol Spence is a great fighter. I think the 147 division isn't as deep, so I think it's easier to climb. I do think it's not as deep. I think there's about 6 or 7 real good fighters. Then after that, it gets a bit thin. So I think it's easier to climb it than it would have been 10 years ago.
140 has definitely changed a lot. Well, so 147 has definitely changed a lot, obviously. With Mayweather, with Pacquiao, you got the likes of Vodnikov, who's I think has definitely slipped a bit. You got a lot of guys in there now that were 140 guys, so they're not clearly the biggest.
Bradley slipped.
Bradley slipped.
You know what I mean? And we got Furman Porter. One of them are going to go when they fight. So it's not as deep as people think it is.
Before you had guys in the 140 division, 147s that were 147 fighters that could go up. Now you got guys that are kind of tapping out at 147.
You got guys that are clearly 140 fighters that are moving up. Garcia, Peterson's now there. Vodnikov, like you say, is a 147. We've got Amir Khan,
Matisse.
Do you know what I mean? So there's not many real 147 fighters there. So again, no disrespect to Spence, I think he's a very good fighter, but I do think the progression to becoming a top guy pretty easy now. Pretty easy.
Based on the Algeria win, I do think you have to start looking at Spence as a top 10 guy as well.
Oh yeah, 100%. 100% top 10.
You have to look at a top 10 guy now and say, guess what? He definitely. They're not definitely. Let's see who he fights in his next 2-3 fights to say, for sure.
Because
the guy that got down for him next with the IBF mandatory, I don't think it's worth it.
What's going on with Devin Alexander?
Don't know.
That'll be a little match I wouldn't mind saying. I think Spence will beat him, but I like to see that because in terms of both have hand speed.
To me, Devin Alexander is a typical front runner. Looks good, can box, got skills, and he likes fighting his fight. As soon as someone shows him something a little bit different, he gets discouraged.
Again, another name that was supposed to be the future. Remember when Devin Alexander knocked out
with a body shot? Urango.
Never thought, oh my god, no one knocks out Urango.
No, not like
this
that.
This is it. We've got the next Philly fighter, next Hopkins.
And everyone's saying no, he's sitting on his punches now, he can actually punch. I don't think he ever knocked no one out again.
There you go. That's my point exactly. You get it with loads of them.
Right. This is an interesting subject. Well, interesting. Chris Algieri is not happy about his pay packet for his fight with Errol Spence. He's saying that his promoter, through the negotiation, him and his promoter got a 50-50 split, which means his promoter got 50% and he got 50%, which left him with something like $325,000. He's saying by the time he pays that expenses, blah blah blah, it's not worth the risk. He's saying that his promoter broke the Ali Act by, having all this little altercation what's going on. And it got me thinking, first of all, Spence is right. I feel a promoter should take 50%,
Algeria's right.
Algeria's right. A promoter shouldn't take 50%. But I always say that you get what you negotiate. His lawyer and his people should have obviously had that in place and said, look, this ain't right, X, Y, Z. Maybe if he didn't do that, he wouldn't have got the fight. I don't know. But so what made it really interesting though, is what his promoter said after. His promoter said after that he's disappointed with this guy. He made Algeria so much money, but he's saying that Algeria is in breach of the confidentiality clause by speaking about the purses in the contract, which means the promoter doesn't care about. Obviously, the promoter doesn't care about what Algeria is saying. He's saying you're breaching by talking about the contract, which tells me he knew it was dodgy.
He knew what was dodgy.
He knew the contract was dodgy.
Why is Algeria talking about it now?
Yeah.
It's happened.
Yeah.
That contract would have been put on your table 2-3 months ago.
Yeah.
And so you've had 2-3 months to kind of air that and sort that out before the fight, agree a new contract before it and say, look, not happy about this. You've done it after the fight, and I'm not quite sure why you've done it. I'm not sure why you've done it.
Sometimes, and I won't say it's uncommon, where fighters will agree to something, they'll have a fight, but they won't actually sign the contract up until a few weeks before the fight. So maybe by the time he realised, it was too late. But for his promoter, I think it was Joe the guy, I can't pronounce his name, is saying that he's more concerned about the confidentiality clause. Yeah, I think that's a little dodgy.
I think as a boxer, you are what you're worth.
Yeah.
To me, Spence gets offered to you. Okay, how much? It's the first thing you're asking when you're fighting Errol Spence, because you know it's that kind of fight. How much am I getting? This is what I'm getting. I mean, I'd like to know if this happened with the Pacquiao and the Khan as well.
Yeah.
Was it a 50-50 split, or maybe the money was so good?
Yeah.
Because it probably is $1 million with Pacquiao. Probably is around that with Khan, so it didn't matter as much.
Yeah.
Spence is a bit short, 650,000. Now it matters.
Yeah.
This should have been something that you aired beforehand.
Yeah,
But
definitely.
the pay packets were probably so good with Provodnikov, Khan, and Pacquiao. You didn't moan. You're moaning now. Sort it out.
Yeah.
I mean, promoters are dodgy. We all know that.
Exactly.
But what's he told us that we don't know?
No. Okay. Pacquiao Bradley didn't set the world on fire. Reportedly, the live gate for that fight had 13,000 fans in there. For an arena, it holds about 20,000. And the pay-per-view numbers are coming up around 400,000. Yeah.
That's not that bad.
Yeah. Bob Arum saying he's made a loss on the overall show due to this, because he thought he would have got more out of it. But it definitely shows that Pacquiao's comments and his loss to Mayweather definitely had an impact on his career. Because you're looking at it now saying that Manny Pacquiao sells out fights and he's a huge draw on pay-per-view. 400,000 for Pacquiao is mostly his lowest numbers in the past 4 or 5 years.
I'll be shocked if that's true. I'll be shocked. I'll be shocked if Pacquiao did anything against Algeria anywhere near that. I'll be very, very shocked if Pacquiao done 400,000 against Algeria. I don't know if the comments have hurt him personally. I think Pacquiao Bradley free to hurt people.
Yeah, that's tough.
No one's interested in Pacquiao Bradley. I'm shocked it's done 400,000. I think that's pretty good going. For Pacquiao free. Pacquiao Bradley free. Bradley come off an okay performance against Rios. Bradley doesn't sell a fight. We know that. Doesn't really talk. Doesn't sell a fight. It's all on Pacquiao. After a Mayweather loss, I don't see how that's too bad.
But didn't get a sellout either.
That's a problem. And obviously, you're looking at 1,000 of those would have been comps.
Yeah.
So that's a problem. But I think normally, thinking don't stack the card. Borrow stack the card. Obviously, he had Arthur Abraham on this one, didn't he?
Yeah.
So he must have paid Arthur Abraham a hell of a lot of money to get over. So that's probably where some of the losses come. But I'm not surprised by those numbers. I think they're pretty good numbers. I mean, you look at it. Mayweather better than 500,000.
Yeah.
That's Mayweather.
But that was both fights were terrible fights.
Mayweather's the best seller the world's probably ever seen.
Yeah.
He done 500,000. Pacquiao done 100,000 less than Mayweather.
Yeah.
It's not too bad. No. It's not too bad.
When you look at that, it's not a bad point. The thing about, like I said, the Bradley Pacquiao, seriously, when that fight was signed, I literally read. I don't think I watched one interview for Pacquiao Bradley.
Yeah. See.
I mean that fight, I was so underwhelmed with that fight. I had no interest in it at all.
Yeah, I struggled as well. I mean, normally I'm a guy that would watch all the all accesses and 24/7s and all the preview
weigh-in and everything.
I didn't watch no weigh-ins. I didn't see a weigh-in.
Yeah.
And that says a lot. Do you know what I mean? And obviously, like you say, the comments will hurt him.
Yeah.
But even he'd done those comments, I think he could. Even if it was perfect Pacquiao Pacquiao.
Yeah.
You only added another 150,000 onto that. I don't think you're adding. I don't think it's getting anywhere near a million. If Bob Arum was expecting a million, then maybe you're right about his age and him being a bit confused because there's no way that was getting anywhere near a million.
Yeah. Let's go with a little bit of fight news. Oval McKenzie is off the card on April 30th.
Yep, the card just got worse again.
Yeah.
Same card that Billy Joe Saunders.
Same card Billy Joe. He's injured, and he was supposed to fight. I think it was for European.
So that's next week.
That's next week. So now the card is now basically Huey Fury and Liam Walsh. Yeah. Bit disappointing.
What are you doing to get injured 7 days before a fight? You should have stopped sparring. You stopped your weight training. You've obviously stopped running. You're on weight. What are you doing?
Athletes get injured. And it sounds like a cop-out, but it happens. You know what I mean? When you fine-tune your body that much, it happens. You know what I mean? There's not one athlete that hasn't been cursed by the injury bug in some way or another. You know what I mean? It's just a shame that's happened to two fighters on the same card.
If you bought tickets for that card, obviously look, you'll be livid that Billy Joe Saunders is off.
Yeah.
But you still think, okay, there's a few title fights.
Yeah.
Is Evan McKenzie European champion? I can't remember.
European title.
So you think there's Evan McKenzie's off?
Yeah.
I mean,
and he gives good fights.
And he gives entertaining fights.
Yeah.
So every fight he's in is entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Huey Fury, Liam Walsh, I want my money back.
Yeah, it's a shame.
I want money back.
Because even last week we were talking about last week, and I said even with Billy Joe off, I said it's not a bad card, and you were like,
Yeah, I want money back. Who's Huey Fury fighting?
He's fighting that guy that Chris Arreola got robbed against Chris Arreola. Remember that guy? Who was that guy? And we were both saying that he lost that fight and they gave like a dodgy draw or win.
The fat kid.
Yeah.
He's really overweight looking.
Yeah. Okay. Sometimes, let's be fair, sometimes weight is not a description of the quality of the fight. That guy, he moves alright.
Yeah, because Ariola's overweight.
No, but I'm just saying it was a decent
two
fight.
fat guys in the ring. One of them's got to look good.
No, I'm just saying that he was a decent fight. He's not a bad fighter.
You're very much one of the people that say if you're 6'1", you shouldn't be weighing over 260 pounds.
No.
This guy is 6'1", 260 pounds.
No, you're right. I don't think anyone could be in shape after you reach a certain weight for a certain size. But I'm just saying that overall, the guy's not a bad guy.
I know Huey Fury's had a lot of opponents pull out.
Yeah.
They somehow need to roll the dice on Huey Fury. I know he's young. How old is Huey Fury? He's young.
Yeah.
23, 24, something. Yeah.
Frank Warrington, I watched the interview with this week with Frank Warrington. He said that let's be fair, Huey Fury will beat Charles Martin.
I don't know about that.
No, but
I don't know about that. I think Andy Joshua has the equaliser.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I mean? Yeah. I don't know. Huey Fury doesn't have that equaliser.
So that's what I was saying. That
good fight though.
Yeah,
that says a lot, doesn't it?
Yeah,
that's a good fight.
No, so what he says though, he also says which is a, I think it's a bit of an overstatement, but I kind of tend to, I don't know if I agree or disagree with it. He said Charles Martin would have struggled to win the British title 10 years ago.
100% agree.
No, I mean, yeah, you got
100% agree. Yeah. When it had all the likes of Sprott, Skelton, Audie Harrison, Ordinary,
Danny Williams.
He ain't winning that British title against them. It was rough back then. That wasn't easy.
Yeah.
Good point.
It's funny you said that. I was thinking, I was watching the interview and I paused it and I thought, wait a minute. Yeah, I'm kind of like, I was back and forth.
Yeah. Not easy.
I tell you what, like, that's one thing. There's one thing, we talked about this last week, so I don't want to get into it again. But that's one thing about Frank Warren recently. Well, I've been watching the interview and watching discussions. He definitely is name dropping a lot of credible facts. That I'm trying to say. Like I said before, it was like he was promoting Box Nation or promoting his brand. Now he seems to be more generally talking about boxing in general, which I think is really good because he's got a lot of insight, a lot of knowledge. I think gives you something different than the average promoter selling their stuff. Leo Santa Cruz, Carl Frampton signed. Yeah, they ain't got a date for it yet, but I think they're saying possible July.
Barclays Centre.
Yeah, at Barclays Centre. Happy the fight's happening. I think it's good when you got world champions actually fighting world champions, fighting their peers, because this is what we always ask for on Boxtalk. And as it stands right now, I think it's a 50-50 fight again. You know, not bad for Frampton considering his last few opponents were Avalos. Then he had that fight on PBC.
Yeah.
Then he had
your boy.
Yeah. And then now he's going for Santa Cruz. Not a bad
progression.
Nice progression. Yeah. I think that's what it should be moving.
Yeah. I like it. I mean, a lot of people obviously said he should be fighting Rigondo.
Yeah.
Why? Why would you fight? Why would you?
I'm on the other side of the coin for this one.
Yeah, I mean, as far if it's laid out in front of you, and this is what I've tried to understand now, and I as my boxing said, look, I want you to go in there against Rigo, and I want you to win. And take that belt and take all that. You beat Rigo, come on, your name's in the pound for pound sort of conversation. Or Barry McGuigan looks on the opposite side and looks at Leo Santa Cruz, which I think is an easier fight than Rigo, obviously, because I think Rigo, yes, he's slipping, but he's not slipped enough.
Yeah.
It's very good money, it's exposure in the US, and it's a chance of being a 2-weight world champion, because Santa Cruz is another weight class.
Yeah.
It's a lot for me to say I want to take Rigo on, when Rigo... Look, let's be honest, guys, we all watched the quick Frampton fight. Frampton ain't beating Rigo. I know guys might say, oh, he's not beating Rigo. But Ryan, like Ryan just said, Santa Cruz is a 50-50 fight for me. I'd edge for Santa Cruz right now. Rigo, Frampton, honestly, I think it's about a 75-25 at best.
So to you what it is, yeah? What you're looking at right now is a two-dimensional size of the model. Yeah. It's either the business model,
yes,
or the boxing model.
Business is what they go for.
Business is what they go for. Yeah. The boxing model tells me, fight Rigo. Like I said, he's the man. You can't be the man. Listen, yeah. You can't hold. Let's go straight to the heavyweights. Deontay and AJ can't say they're the champion until they fight Tyson Fury, because he's the one who beat the man. Rigo's the man. So if you've got a belt at the division and you think you're the best, you have to fight him. I understand the business side in growth and exposure, whatever. But like I said, Rigo's dead to be taken right now.
One thing about Frampton, unlike a lot of the other guys in the divisions, I don't think I've ever heard Frampton say he's number one in the division. So I don't think he's claiming to be the best. Where the likes of Deontay Wilder, Tyson Fury are saying, I'm the number one heavyweight in the world. Okay, beat the number one then. I don't think I've ever heard, I could be wrong guys, so don't slate me, I don't think I've ever heard Frampton say, I'm number one in the division.
No, I've clearly heard him say that Rigo's the best.
He said that, and that's why I don't mind if he avoids knowing that he knows Rigo's the best.
So though, I think it's a choice of words. I've never heard him say Rigo's number one. He said Rigo's the best in the division. So that's not saying he's number one. I'm number one, or I think I'm number one, but he's the best. Know what I mean? It's a choice of words they use.
You know, something, it's almost like, see, back in the day, even though Froch lost to Ward, when kind of Ward was on his hiatus and Froch had the WBA and IBF, everyone said, oh, rematch Ward. And Froch was openly saying, going to lose that fight.
It's not worth it.
He knows it's not going to work. And I feel like Frampton's kind of thinking the same thing. Thinking the same thing.
But here's the thing about it, though, and this is why I think people got behind Froch, because Froch kind of said it as it is. So he said, look, it's not a good fight for me. He's going to do this, he's going to do that. So where I really have it. If he wants to have it, we have to do it over here. But that's the reason why. And I think people respect that, because at least you know where you stand. When you put out those miscellaneous statements and comments, and then you know you're never really going to fight the dude, that causes a problem with fans.
I just think Rigo's just that damn too good for these kids right now. Honestly,
no, I think
has way too much.
Listen, I understand. I think Rigo's a tremendous fighter. I think he's great. But like I said, you have to be real to the actual facts. He's inactive. He's getting older. He got dropped. He didn't know in his last fight. The fight before, he got dropped by the tall Japanese kid.
On that gave Warrington all the problems.
You know what I mean? I'm just saying, those are the times when you catch a fighter like Rigo. He's not going to improve with inactivity. He had promotional problems. You could sort this out right now, and that's what I'm saying, is that if you want to be the man, if you want to be the best, that's what you have to go through. And this is the prime opportunity. Bellew Makabu is now on for the 29th of May at Goodison Park.
Goodison Park,
And on the undercard, David Price returns. They have to match him really well. They have to match him really, really well.
I'm not sure. Is that pay-per-view event?
Don't think so. But to tell you what, though, I wouldn't be surprised.
Bellew going for a world title. At home with his football team, Everton Football Club. David Price.
Weren't that where they've done Creed as well?
Yeah, they've done Creed.
So they're going to add in the whole Creed story and everything.
You think they'll do that?
I think they're going to say this is where he made it. You know,
I think it's too late.
Hollywood star.
I think it's too late to do it now.
I don't know.
Creed's kind of gone. No one. It's done. Do you know what I mean? I think they had a chance to capitalise on that Creed thing, and they kind of missed it with. You know what I mean? It's almost like that'll be in what, 2 months' time? When you say May?
May.
Oh, May next month.
Next month, May 29th.
That's not too far away.
No, it's not.
That's interesting though. That's coming from nowhere.
Remember the fight was signed or agreed about a month ago, but they didn't have a date for it.
I'm shocked they're not chucking him on the undercard of Joshua to wait for June. Another month.
Now, remember, Matchroom has a huge stable. They need dates, and also they've got their contract with Sky where they must have to fit X amount of dates per year. So they'll put it in there.
Well done, Bellew. Good luck.
Yeah.
I haven't seen much in Bellew. You know what? I like Bellew, but I can't. Let's be honest. That performance
against Marcinek,
weren't great, was it?
No, it wasn't.
Weren't great. So I'm not sure.
All right. Let's move forward. Terence Crawford apparently turned himself in to the police after having a dispute at a car shop where his car was getting some sort of custom paint job.
Yeah.
There was some disagreement with it. The owner said Terence didn't fully pay for it for whatever reason. Some way or another, Terence Crawford has gone over, took the car off the hydraulic lift thing, ended up breaking the hydraulic lift or whatever, and the guy is asking for $5,000 plus his 5 grand damages done to the machine.
Yeah.
But also he ain't been paid for this situation, the job. So he weren't chased by the police, but obviously he's been arrested and was released. I have strong standards, as you know, for boxing, and I think like you can't paint. If you paint a picture on one page, you're gonna stick on everyone else. I'm just hoping Crawford ain't messing up like Adrian Broner. When you're a multiple-time world champion and 5 grand damage paint job, it doesn't look good. It doesn't look good. Even if he didn't do it, you shouldn't get into those type of altercations. Yeah. If there's an issue, you should go about it the right way.
Agreed. I mean, if this is AB, you would have nailed him to the cross.
Oh yeah.
So,
no, but AB's done it 100 times, so he has to be nailed to the cross. This is Crawford's first time. Hopefully it's the last.
First time. I've never been.
No, but you get my point.
Yeah, but no, you're. It's a shame that he's even got into this situation. And like you say, you hope that this isn't a sign of things to come. It seems. I'm happy it's that. When you said handed himself in, I was thinking some of the worst stuff you could think. That. Yeah, I get it. Yeah. You know what I mean? I can see how that could happen.
Car's personal.
Car's personal, and not only that, but if you think someone's taking a piss, sorry, give me my car back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But so I can understand why it's happened, and minor news, but let's hope it's not anything that is a sign of things to come.
Or the wheels falling off. But also with Terence Crawford, though, he's apparently signed for the postal fight.
Okay.
So that looks like
when is that supposed to be going down? July? August?
Possibly July. But apparently he's signed and he's agreed, so hopefully we get a very good fight summertime.
About time.
Yeah.
About time to get a fight that gets you excited.
Yeah.
Real wise, no disrespect to Khan, but Canelo. Real guys, same weight class.
Yeah.
Getting it on. Guys that are probably, you could argue, are number 1 and 2 in the division. Obviously Crawford being number 1, and you can make a case for Postal being number 2 because he beat Matisse, who was recognised number 2.
Yeah.
So finally we get something.
Yeah. Definitely.
Is it a unification fight? It's supposed to have a belt?
Yeah. Absolutely got a belt.
Did Matisse have a belt?
Well, you know I don't really care about belts anyway.
Did Matisse have a belt? Probably did. I can't remember.
Yeah.
I can't remember if he had a belt.
Alright then. Final few bits before we wrap up the show. George Groves, who is he facing in June, July? This week has been statements from both parties saying that Martin Murray saying, it looks like everything's go ahead for me and Groves for June, July.
Yep.
And George Groves saying that it looks like me and Smith are set for the EBU.
Yep.
Something's definitely going on between where Matchroom can't be negotiating both fights for both fighters. You've got 2 fighters, and you've got Smith and Murray are both Matchroom fighters.
Yeah.
It makes no sense doing it that way. It's either one or the other.
I guess it's a case of if I can see how they could be doing that. If Callum doesn't vacate that EBU, then George is mandatory for it, and he probably wants that shot.
Yeah.
And they probably have to think, okay, they're probably thinking, do we vacate? Do we vacate? Do we vacate?
Do we need it if we're going to get balanced?
I love the fact that Groves is saying, give me both. Either one.
No,
he doesn't see me shine around. I was on his Twitter page, his Instagram or Twitter, I can't remember. And it was like, oh, look. And he said, at Callum Smith, so Callum, looks like I've got you for the bring it on kind of thing. Yeah. I think he has no fear for both. Smith's a tougher fight, obviously.
Yeah, I think it's a better fight.
I think Murray, he beats. But I think Smith's a very tough fight.
Sounds bad, but Smith, Groves, Murray don't do much for me. I can look at the fight and I can't see it being really explosive or really good. It'd be a good fight in terms of skill, but I can't see it as being like wow. Where Smith, I could see being like, guess what, itching for that one.
I could see Groves knocking Murray out personally. And I like the way Groves is asking for Smith. He's asking for the interesting fights. He wants the big fights, and that's a big fight.
Yeah.
You know, that should be a summer fight they could do.
Yeah.
That'd be a really good matchroom summer fight. They're trying to propel Cam Smith to a pay-per-view star. That's what they're trying to do. That does it.
Yeah. I don't believe I'm going to say this, but it's something that I saw this week. Mickey Rourke is coming back for another fight in the summertime. Seriously.
How old is Mickey Rourke?
It must be 65.
You think that's a good guess if it is the case?
Yeah, it must be.
Yeah, but the Russian one was obviously a dive. Or
Yeah, yeah.
so,
You remember that one?
We can do that again.
The picture of the guy in the bed with all the money.
Yeah,
you remember that?
Fantastic. That's absolutely fantastic. Yeah. You gotta love Mickey Rourke for stepping in the ring at that age, because obviously
someone needs to Mickey Rourke. Oh, him and Sylvester Stallone is an example of steroids gone bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, the way they look is unbelievable.
Mickey Rourke's not through steroids, wasn't that though?
No, he had surgery there.
Yeah,
that's not his body.
Oh, okay, his body,
Yeah.
but it's his face is what's the problem with Mickey Rourke. His face is what has happened, mate. And he was a good-looking kid, you know, when he was younger.
Yeah,
He was like the sex symbol in the 80s, and then that happened.
What was that film back in the day? 9.5 Weeks.
Easy.
Yeah, you remember that?
Not an adult entertainment show.
Alright then. Last bit, final bit. Nick Blackwell announced he's retired, obviously, from boxing due to the injuries he sustained in the Chris Eubank fight.
Yes.
And like to thank all the fans for his support and everything that's happened over the past few weeks. Obviously, he couldn't fight, so obviously it had to happen. But I'm just happy that this whole story's ended nicely. And again, it feels good. You know what I mean? Someone's got hurt. There was a scary point in time, but it's all over and the world's back in order, put it that way.
How old's Nick Blackwell, do you know?
Mid-20s.
Mid-20s? I just hope that, I mean, the support for him after has been so good up until now, in terms of people saying they're going to give their purses and this and that. But we very quickly to forget on boxing. We very quickly forget people like that. Yeah. So for me, I just hope that it continues, because look, we're talking about a guy that was in an induced coma and has come out and probably would have been expecting, before the obviously incident with Chris Eubank, to be fighting until we've got 33, 34, 35, whatever. Yeah. To say that your career stopped short, boxing's always struggled with aftercare, and I think someone like Nick Blackwell is a prime example of someone that needs a lot of aftercare. Yeah. Not because of the injuries sustained, but I'm talking the mental injuries of having the fact that you were in a coma. Yeah. It was a tough fight, and now you don't know what you're going to be doing for the next 10 or 15 years. He needs a lot of support.
No, he's definitely got a long road ahead, you know. Yeah. You know, at 27 to retire, 25, 26, 27 to retire, there's a lot to be done. Yeah. But like you said, I think he's over the worst. Hopefully, 6 months, a year, we see him doing a little commentating or getting something, something back from the sport to do something, because we don't know his situation, but he must have got mortgage and kids and things to do in the future. You know what I mean? So he needs to sustain what he has. Yeah, no, I agree. But on the opposite side, look, it's a fantastic story. We've seen a lot of incidents with boxing, even with MMA, of people going into comas and it goes the other way. Yeah, exactly. So for him, not just to make a recovery, but to look healthy as well. Yeah. It's fantastic news, and people might say I was in an induced coma. Regardless, he was in a coma. Yeah, he was in a coma. If he didn't go in the induced coma, he could have died. There you go. So I think it's a good story, and well done. Like I said, I just hope that all the promises about purses come through. Yeah. All the promises about aftercare come through, and let's hope he can get a job in boxing, trainer, commentator, whatever. You know, next week. Here's what the fight next week. I think next week is the Andre Berto Ortiz. And the fight with the Durrell brothers and... we didn't do a video for that. No, we didn't. Is it any worth it? Andre Durrell... Tell us, do you want to do Andre Durrell versus... Is he fighting Caleb Truax? Yeah, one of them, and they're fighting, was it Blake Caparello? Yeah, Blake Caparello. Yeah. Do you want us to do those videos? Any interest? If you say yes, we'll do them. No, we ain't gonna touch them. Yeah. Can we talk any MMA on this right now? Why you want to talk MMA? Conor McGregor? No MMA. Why talk MMA? Because he said he wants to fight Floyd Mayweather. Oh, come on, Floyd's retired. Floyd's retired about 4 times. Don't need it. This is box talk. We'll talk about it off camera. Alright, there you go, guys. Quick one. Final. Obviously, a lot of guys on Twitter, YouTube, loads of people have been saying about Facebook. Yeah. Guys, hoodies. And simple fact is, we haven't got a sponsor. So every time you guys ask for hoodies, it literally is our case of me and Ryan putting some money together and making some hoodies. We don't really make any money with them, to be honest, and just sending them out there to you guys. So we haven't got any in stock at the moment. It's as simple as. So we are going to do more, but we're thinking, look, summer's about to come, as you can see.
Is it worth doing the hoodies, or should we just do some nice t-shirts?
Yeah, t-shirts.
Which are a bit cheaper for you guys, a bit cheaper for us as well.
T-shirts or vests or something like that.
Yeah, vest, easy. Not many people have these guns, you know what I mean? I don't want to... Not many people can get away with vests.
People can get away with vests, they can rock it, I mean?
Yeah, some baggy
anyone
ones.
can get into shape.
There you go.
I mean?
There you go. But guys, tell us what you want.
Yeah.
Tell us what you want. Do us some t-shirts. If you want t-shirts, we'll just put some money together. Payday's coming up. We can do that and make some t-shirts and send these guys out straight away.
Yeah, definitely. Like I said, Boxtalk's a self-funded show, so you know all these Sky pay-per-views are like hurting a little bit.
And Netflix and BT Sport and Box Nation. Ryan's outgoings are sick.
Yeah.
And he's got 2 kids. So these outgoings are sick.
But no, yeah, definitely. If people want t-shirts or hoodies, whatever, we could do t-shirts now, then do hoodies like August, September for winter.
Yeah.
But leave the comments below, let us know. And we'll get something sorted.
We'll get this sorted ASAP. In a week, maybe 2 weeks time, latest, we'll get some sorted. So tell us if you want us to do it, and we'll get them out and think of a goodish price.
Yeah, no,
nothing ridiculous at all.
If we do the t-shirts, try to do it about 10 on it.
Yeah, tenner, yeah. £12 max.
Yeah.
Got to make some money. Got to make some money to buy some brandy.
Sure. I'll just win the bottle for you after the Wilder versus Povetkin.
Have we shook on that? I don't know.
Been on the video.
Got in the video.
Yeah.
Alright, there you go, guys. Thanks for watching. Remember, subscribe, tweet, share as per usual, and thanks a lot for watching another edition of Boxtalk. Peace.